I think that might have been our very first conversation. We talked about just a darker Diablo, and we're kind of feeling where each other's heads were at.
It was almost like you were feeling it out, like, are you cool with doing a really dark Diablo? And I was like, are you kidding? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're not sure how the other person's gonna, hey, are they into this idea? And it became obvious that the entire team wanted to take the game there. So this is a no-brainer for us.
I mean, we've really been pushing a lot of the darker tones really ever since Reaper. And I think now with like our new engine and our tech and all this stuff, it's like we get that chance with the sequel to kind of reset the canvas a little bit. And it's like, you know, this like dark gothic medieval Diablo that we're really excited to make.
Blizzard-wise, right? Like we started thinking of our games not in a converging sort of direction, but kind of embracing what makes each franchise unique and really playing to those strengths. And really, when you compare in all of the Blizzard games, this is our M-rated title, this is our darkest title. So we really wanted to make sure we separated that and crafted a game that felt like it was embracing what was true to it.
I think the sort of painterly look of Diablo 3, there's a crispness in the world in our new rendering engine, and that can really kind of be a little off-putting. It can seem almost too real or like too much like photography. And so we really want things to feel like art and handcrafted, and that's a very Blizzard value. And so that was something that Diablo 3 really nailed, was like a handcrafted world. Like it really felt like a painting. And so we wanted to take the spirit of that, but then put it through this darker lens.
So we came at it from two angles. One was gameplay, the other one was fantasy, right? And then on the gameplay side, we kind of looked at what we did in Reaper of Souls and how really adding that open element to the game was really transformative. When we added adventure mode, we were trying to serve that way in which the players were approaching the game in the many hundreds of hours version. It made a lot of sense for us to kind of take all of our favorite ideas from open world games and craft a game that was open from the get-go. So it's the sort of game where you can progress the campaign, progress the story when you feel like it, and when you want to kind of get lost in the side content, the events, the repeatable nature of the game, you can do that at your own pace. So it felt really natural. It's the way the game wanted to be played.
On the visual side, we really love the idea of giving a sense of place to the world of Sanctuary, which we just feel like we haven't really been able to achieve in previous games as much as we can when it's like there are no borders, there are no more, you know, loading lines. Because dungeons are such a continuation, I think, from previous Diablo games. Like I think people will find those to be very familiar. And I think like the open world is the thing that is bringing a lot of new experience and like different ways to play a Diablo game that you may not have experienced in the past. As time goes, we'll speak more to those things, but just a sense of place and just getting to like roam around the world just without any bounds is a ton of fun.
Some players are like, okay, yeah, but what if I'm happy with just a dark hole where I can keep grinding gear forever, right? And I think the implicit promise of world is basically that Diablo is content multiplied by systems. So if you start with a world as your content, you will have so much to do in the game, right? So whether it's like doing PvP or engaging in trading in social hubs or doing events, or if you want to, just pushing harder and harder dungeons, I think there's gonna be stuff for you to do for a long time. We realize that this is the type of game that players don't just play through once, finish the story and put it on the shelf. I mean, some folks do, and that's totally cool, and we'll have a awesome kick-ass dark story for them. But for the players that want to keep playing, right, like having this foundation really allows us to deliver on that.